Ready to go?
Alright, how y'all doing? My name is Brian Gillespie. I decided to do my topic on separate but equal. Separate but equal was back in the early 1800s or so, and it was more of whites get this and blacks would get this. It was supposed to be, an equal thing, whether it was separated or not, but we see this as that wasn't the case. They have this one, nice little fancy water fountain, and they just have a pipe with a faucet on it. First off, we got to talk about Jim Crow laws. Jim Crow laws, well, these ones right here particularly are specific laws in different states. They vary from state to state. Like blacks couldn't be buried next to a white person. It's kind of stupid. Nowadays it's stupid. Back then that was completely acceptable. Jim Crow laws were the caste system which primarily operated in the southern states or the border states between 1877 and 1960. Under Jim Crow laws, the African Americans were like a second-class citizen, almost like an animal, kind of. Jim Crow laws were also like, if you drunk out of the white water fountain we seen in the previous slide, you would be beaten for just drinking water. Most of them were carried out with violence if you acted against the law. Go ahead. Now, Plessy versus Ferguson. Homer Plessy was an octoroon, means he was 7th, 8th white. That means somewhere down the line there was a black strand of hair in him somewhere that made him black. In 1980, Louisiana passed a separate car law which provided, whites get one car and blacks get another car. And in 1896, oh no, I'm sorry, jump back. No, you're fine. In 1890, okay, 1892, Homer Plessy bought a ticket to go to Homer Plessy bought a ticket in East Louisiana to go from New Orleans to Covington, which is in the same state. And when he got onto the train, the conductor told him that he had to leave because he had, I guess, a little bit of black in him, and that would, I guess, anger the rest of the passengers. In 1896, Homer Plessy and Ferguson case was brought before the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court ruled that what the previous court case was, previous court case was fine according to the amendment, the 13th Amendment, I do believe. And the Board of Education in Topeka, which overruled the Homer Plessy Ferguson case, and they claimed that even though they were separate, they were not equal, and that was not just or constitutional to the amendment. Let's see. In May 17th, 1954, the Supreme Court came to a unanimous decision of 9-0, and it basically, paved the way for the civil rights movement and interrogation. People came together
Integration.
instead of being separate. That's really it.
So here we are today.
Yeah.
Thank you. Now, for your topic, for informative, you could even try to, your position could be that it isn't overtly separate but equal, but due to districting of schools, et cetera, that we are getting back into the separate but equal. It's a big issue in Mecklenburg County. Big, big issue. Some schools have, some schools don't. It depends upon where that school is located. And the schools that are typically in the upper income neighborhoods typically get more. And there has